Students, today let's start the question answer of the given poem, A Lecture Upon the Shadow by John Donne. In this poem, the very first question, what does shadow mean in this poem? As you know that shadow representing the different conflicts, the different disguise between the poet and his beloved. So the answer is what? In this poem, shadow refers to the duality in the lover's personality, their secrets, their distrust of each other. The second one is, how do the shadows before noon differ from the shadows of afternoon? That means क्या अंतर है नून से पहले मॉर्निंग टाइम के शैडोज में और आफ्टरनून के शैडोज में. Now, let's see the answer. The shadows before noon constantly grow shorter. At the time of noon, they vanish altogether. Then in the afternoon, they constantly grow longer. The shadows before noon represent the lover and the beloved coming closer. At noon, they reach the stage of absolute love. The shadow afternoon represent their moving. Now, the third question, according to the poet, what is the nature of true love? As I have already told you, the nature of the true love is dynamic. So the answer is what? True love is beyond time, location and circumstances. True love has no degrees. It does not change with the passage of time. It never comes to an end. In true love, the lover and the beloved are wholly sincere to each other. True love does not tolerate any difference between the lover and the beloved. Now, the next questions, what is love's philosophy? This one is very important because the complete poem, जैसा कि हम आपको बता चुके हैं, यह पोएम लव्स फिलॉसफी पर ही डिपेंड है. जॉन डन अपने बिलवेड को लव्स फिलॉसफी समझाना चाहते हैं. So what the answer is? Love's philosophy is that it keeps growing in its initial stage. Then comes the stage when it reaches its peak. Fit is not retained at this height. It comes to an end. The shadows of differences in love bring its end. Hence, the lover and the beloved must keep no shadows of differences between them. Now, the last question. What does the shadows being trodden signify? Shadows are the symbol of one's ego, of one's consciousness towards ego, one's separate identity. Their being trodden signifies the end of the ego. It means a person oneness with the supreme soul, that is God. When a person treads his shadow or loses the sense of self, he considers himself to be one with the maker of universe. At this stage, all differences between God and him is a state of permanent bliss. All things become clear. The duality of love is removed. The person considers himself to be one with God. That means here the poet says that shadows are the problem, are the root cause between their immature love. So the poet says that if we want to overcome from all these confusions, all these illusions, we must be walk together till noon, because at noon their love reached height. Now we move towards the objective questions of this poem that is in trend, and all these questions are very important for your examination. The very first one, who is the poet of the poem A Lecture Upon the Shadow? Answer is what? John Donne. Next one, who is the poet asking to stand still in the opening line of the poem? Answer all you know. The answer is lover. Third one, lecture, love in love's philosophy is an example of the repetitions of L. So the example is of alliteration. Now the next question, with whom does the poet compare the love between himself and his beloved? You know the answer. The answer is shadow. The first stanza of the poem is what? It is in the form of a lecture. The six number questions, the two shadows of the lovers represented the dual personalities of the lover. Now, seven number questions, what happens when love stays short? Obvious, the love decays. The second stanza of the poem talks about there is a pain in love. Love without pain and suffering can't get the height of the love. Now, the ninth number question, the poem narrates. The poem, of course, narrates the ups and downs in a relationship. As you know that this poem has been written by John Donne. So the question is, John Donne is a dash poet. The answer is metaphysical poet. So my dear students, you come through all the question answer of this chapter, objectives and short questions. I think you must get the content and the proper explanations of this poem. lecture upon the shadow by John Donne. Thank you very much.